Where are all the haters, huh? Where are all the people who said that Boruto was gonna be a shit anime? Don't say nothing to me, because this episode was good. Not only did we get a good chapter this week, we got a good episode with it, and that was the introduction of Mitsuki. This episode was pretty much badass. So it starts with a former classmate of Iwabe who has dropped out, and apparently his fire style is on point even though it is not, and he starts attacking people because he is pissed off, right? And then he was possessed by the chakra snake, which attacks everyone. And I think from this episode we discover that the chakra snake actually attacks people who have a sense of dread or some kind of depression in them, and just enhances it, and you know, flips their personality. And also we got a closer look at the monster which Boruto summoned, and I'm gonna be discussing it in my things you missed, so check that out after this review. But this episode was really good, and you can tell by my voice. So the guy who is causing havoc gets stopped by Shikadai, Iwabe, and Boruto. And to be honest with you, there is a lot of great teamwork going on, especially throughout the episode, and you know, at the ending as well. And we're gonna get more the next episode. So you know, this guy's running, he runs into a corner because he's being chased, and they come to see this guy sleeping. Like, this guy goes straight from running to sleeping in a corner, and they see Mitsuki, and I think Mitsuki is able to see the chakra as well, the whole dark chakra, because he asks Boruto if Boruto can actually see it, or he tells him that you can see it too, right? So obviously Mitsuki arrives, and he has a lot of, you know, weird vibes about him, and they really did a good job of capturing that, because I could not figure out what Mitsuki was thinking in certain instances. I think how Mitsuki took down the person is the same way he was trying to take down Iwabe. He just strangled them just like a snake, and they mentioned it just like a snake. He fights like it, and I really like Mitsuki's ability of, you know, being able to stretch his body, and I think he got it from Orochimaru, because Orochimaru is able to do the same thing. But I don't know, I think Mitsuki's one is a little bit more, you know, more flexible compared to Orochimaru's one. Now, one thing about Mitsuki is that he is actually the strongest, and he has apparently lightning nature as well as wind nature, and we see a little bit of his wind nature, and wow, it is really it is powerful, because it blew everyone away, literally. So Mitsuki is definitely one of the best ninja, and I think he's going to be a very likable character, because one thing about Mitsuki is that obviously he's a synthetic human, and he just got made, right? He got created into like a teenager in some kind of way. So I think as a person, the reason why he doesn't understand a lot of what people are saying is because he is just new to the whole world, and he is just trying to discover new things, and he doesn't really understand what is going on. So basically it's like a baby trapped in a 10-year-old or 11-year-old kid's body. So pretty much that is what Mitsuki is, and that is why he is curious. And I think he just basically operates on logic. So, you know, if you tell him to do something, he will literally do what you tell him to do. And the thing is, he does not like being disliked in a way, so he will do anything to please people, you know, to make sure that there is peace restored. Now, there is one scene where he talks to a snake, and the thing is, people might say, I know people are going to report this saying that he is talking to Orochimaru, but he does not really like Orochimaru. He would, if you actually read the Mitsuki version of the Naruto Gaiden, then you will know that he ran away from Orochimaru. And the thing is, they do not mention Orochimaru. All they say is that the person who is Mitsuki's father was someone who wanted to destroy the village in the past, and so that is pretty much all the backstory that we get from Mitsuki. But for those who are new to my channel, or who are new to Boruto as a series, I will be, you know, covering this and explaining a few things in my things you missed, or maybe I will make a separate video, you know, discussing Mitsuki's past. But yeah, this episode was really awesome, and you know, the next one is going to be even better, and I will tell you or give you spoilers on what's going to happen. So obviously Mitsuki gets introduced, and Shino gets interrupted a lot, and I've seen this happening, you know, all the time. And obviously as time progressed, he built in frustration because people are not listening to him. The same thing applies to Mitsuki, because if you take a look at the movie and, you know, the manga, if you read the manga, you can see that whenever Mitsuki is talking, he gets interrupted. So, you know, maybe that might, you know, build up some pent-up rage, and he might unleash it. And if he does, it is really dangerous, because this guy has Sage Mode. That is something they did not mention. He has Sage Mode. He can literally take down not just the teacher, he can take down the jonin within the school. I can guarantee you he can take down everyone in the entire school, including all the staff. So, you know, Mitsuki is not someone to be trifled with. And we get a scene where Boruto is fighting Iwabe, and apparently Iwabe is better than Boruto in terms of brute strength. But, you know, I think Boruto is more crafty than that. But I think this was like a little sparring match, just to, you know, discover yourself as a ninja, and, you know, to discover your abilities and stuff. But then Mitsuki interrupts saying, you know what, I want to take Iwabe on and see how will I do. And then Iwabe just tells him, you know, just not to hold back. And then Mitsuki's like, okay. So obviously they start fighting, and then the way Mitsuki moves, I was thinking, whoa, he is taking this battle serious. And you know, he displays some good moves, and everyone says he's moving like a snake, which he doesn't. You know, he constricts Iwabe, and then he goes on to restrict Iwabe to stop him from breathing, and obviously everyone says there's something wrong with that. The thing about Mitsuki is that I said he takes everything literal, and you know, he does not understand a lot of things because he's new to the world. So obviously he's restricting Iwabe, and then he remembers that Boruto told him to stop, right? Boruto told him to stop, and the thing is, he doesn't want to be disliked by people, so he just stopped, and he took it literally. So you know, it goes to show that Mitsuki, even though he is innocent, at the same time he is not, because he has a killer instinct. I mean, come on, he is the son of Orochimaru. The question is though, if Orochimaru could provide the sperm to create Mitsuki, then who provided the egg? So who is the mother of Mitsuki? Maybe Orochimaru could provide both, I don't know. But this episode, like I said, I keep repeating, was really good. And you know, one of these workers obviously gets pissed off, right? Because they are building the school and all these kids are causing trouble, including Shino, who tried his best to, you know, teach all these kids, but it's not working out. Because from those people who watch Naruto and, you know, Naruto Shippuden, you will know that Shino is the person who is not easily remembered and, you know, easily forgotten. So he's easily ignored. And that is exactly what is happening. So Kurenai, his former teacher, tells him that, you know, he should take his own approach towards things. And I knew this was gonna go, you know, haywire, because he's using bugs, right, to control all these stuffed animals and stuff, which were stuffed with bugs, right? And in the previous episode, one of these girls mentioned that, you know, they hate bugs and anything creepy, and that's exactly what Shino's power is. So I knew this was gonna go wrong, and you know, Shino got depressed. But let's get to the point where they fight this guy who is making amends to the school. So he gets pissed off because he can't get any work done since all these students are messing things up, and then he gets to fight Sarada. Sarada actually uses shuriken because that is her speciality, but then she gets knocked down, and I thought, whoa, that is, you know, something painful, because he literally swung some wood at her and that hit her really bad. But you know, she's a ninja, she survives. And we have Shikadai, who's always tactical, and I never saw him using the shadow possession jutsu in that way, because wow, Shikadai is actually someone very analytical, and I really like him. I like the way he approaches things. Like, you never see him use his shadow possession technique, but before you notice, after some time passes, you finally find out that this guy has actually been using it to do something. So you know, from Shikadai, we don't really know what to expect from him, but he always delivers. So Boruto's eye keeps activating his hybrid byakugan, right, which I did a video on, and for some reason, even though it gets activated left and right, like, people don't really notice the fact that his eye is glowing. And I think there was one scene where Shikadai asks if the man is possessed just like Metal Lee was, and Boruto says yeah. So I think maybe Shikadai is aware of Boruto's eye, but you know, he thinks maybe Boruto has it under control. But anyways, they take the guy down, and you know, the next thing you know, Mitsuki is talking to a snake, which people think is Orochimaru, most likely. And then Shino gets possessed by the snake, because guess what? He is depressed too, and the creature who is attacking them is actually attracted, I think, to negative energy or negative thinking. So Shino obviously gets possessed, and he says, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna invite Shikadai, Boruto, and Mitsuki to a location somewhere in the village, and he's gonna just fuck them up, because these three are problem students. Okay, I'm, you know, gonna be giving you a little bit more information in my video, but what I'm trying to say here is that Shino has had enough of teaching. He just wants to kill them all, basically, because these three students are the problem students, the people who always are up to something and cause something. So we know that Shikadai is always dragged in by Boruto's antics, and then, you know, Mitsuki is the first person to actually overwhelm Iwabe, and you know, he starts causing trouble as well, you know, unintentionally. But wow, this episode was quite good. I'm gonna watch it again because it was that awesome. You know, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of Mitsuki? Do you think that he will be a good character? I think he's gonna be likable personally, and you know, just leave your comments, subscribe, and hit that notification button if you are new. With that being said, I've got nothing more to say. Bye.